Hello everyone, welcome to Pepcoding. In this video, we will look at the question K sum target sum unique set. Okay, so in this question, you have let's say K integers, right? 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. Right? You have n number of integers and and you it is saying that you have to find the K elements, all the sets of K elements which when added up equals to my target, right? So what does this mean? This means that let's say we were finding target sum pairs first, right? We were finding target sum pairs first. So if let's say my target is 50, right? My target is 50. So if my target is 50, I would have target sum pairs as 20, 30, 10 and 40 and something like that, right? These are pairs which when added up equals to my target, right? So let's say now I have my target as 50 again, but I have to find all the triplets that when added up gives me my target. So I will have 10, 10 and 30, right? This is a triplet because 10 plus 10 is 20, 20 plus 30 is 50, right? So this is a triplet. So we will find the triplets like these. Now we can also find quadruplets, right? Four sum, we can find four sum which is quadruplet. So four numbers which when added up gives me my target, right? But now it is saying that the total amount of numbers is already given and it is given as K, right? We know that we have K numbers and we have to find all the K numbers which when added up gives me my target, right? I'm given K, let's say my K is 6 for at this moment. My K is 6. The question in this question, my K is 6. So I have to find six numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, six numbers which when added up will be equal to my target, right? And I have to find all the sets like these, right? All the sets of six numbers which when added up gives me my target, right? So this is my question. Now in the first part, like let's say the triplets, right? For the triplets we fixed a value here, right? We fixed a value 1 here, and for the rest of the array we found all the pairs, right? We found all the pairs for the rest of the array when we fixed a value 1 here, right? For quadruplets we fixed a value 1 here and we found all the triplets in the rest of the array, right? We were going like this. Now for k we can do the same thing, right? We can use the same approach for k. So what we can do is we will fix a k for let's say k sum, right? For k sum we will fix a value 1 here, right? If we fix a value 1 here, we will find k minus 1 sum in the rest of the array, right? Similarly for k minus 1 sum, I'll fix a value 2 here and we'll find k minus 2 sum in the rest of the array. Similarly, I'll fix value 3 here, then k minus 3 sum, right? And so on, right? And so on. So when I use this approach, there will be a point when I just need to find the 2 sum, right? So if I already know how to find the 2 sum, I can use that result as my 3 sum, then I can use that 3 sum result as my 4 sum, right? So this is the approach might be a little clear to you, that we are going to use recursion, and we are going to use recursion in such a way that let's say if my k is equals to 6, right? My k is given as 6, then I'm going to fix a value 1 for k is equals to 6, and I'm going to say that you go and give me the answer for k is equals to 5, right? For k is equals to 5, I'll say that I'll fix a value 2 and you go and give me a answer for k is equals to 4. For k is equals to 4, I'll fix a value 3, right? And you go and give me the answer for k is equals to 3. For k is equals to 3, I'll say that I'll fix a value 4. You go and give me the answer for k is equals to 2. right? When k is equals to 2, I will only need to find all the pairs which when added up will be equal to my target, right? So for k is equals to 2, it will be my base condition, right? K is equals to 2 will be my base condition. So this is simple. This is very simple code that we just need to call recursion at, and when it reaches that, when the point reaches k is equals to 2, we will hit our base condition and we'll call to sum at that point, right? But how are we going to decide this? We need some index, right? We need some index that says that we have to find from that index to the end. We have to find, or we have to make a call from that index to the end, right? So if my starting index is, let's say, here, then I will call, then I'll fix fix a value here and call for the k minus 1 subsets or k minus 1 sum in the rest of the array, right? Then I can fix a starting index here, and from starting index here, then I'll call k minus 2 in the rest of the array, right? And so on. So we'll need a starting index, and using that starting index, we are going to traverse through the whole array, and we'll find our k sum, and we'll find our k sum. Okay, so let's try to code this. Okay, so this is my k sum function. Now I just need to sort this array, right? So sort arr dot begin, right, and arr dot end. And after sorting, then I just need to return. I'll make a ksum helper function, right? Then I'll make a ksum helper function which will take my array, my target, my k, and a 0. This 0 is my starting index. Okay, this 0 is my starting index. Now let's write the helper function. So this will be vector of int, right? This will return my vector of int, and this will take vector of int nums, right? Int target, right? Int k, and int starting index, right? Now we already know the base case, that is if k is equals to 2, then I'll return I'll make a to sum function also that will calculate the to sum. So to sum, I'll call the to sum function on my nums, right? On this nums, on my starting index, on my ending index, right, and my target. Now vector of int, this is my result, right? And n is equals to nums dot size. Now if there comes a point where the nums dot size is less than my k, which means that I need to find more, or I need to find more number of elements, but my array contains less elements, so I cannot have any value, right? I cannot have an answer for that. So I'll return an empty array list or empty vector from there. Now for int is equals to si. Now my I will start from si, and I will go till n minus k, right? Then plus I, and if I is not equals to si, and nums of I is equals to nums of I minus 1, then I'll just skip that number and I'll continue from there, right? Now okay, so now after this we'll have a value which is nums of I, right? Nums of I. Now in target, right, that is target minus val. Now we'll make a vector of int, which is my answer, and this will be my recursive call, right? In my recursive call, I'll send my nums and my target, which is my new target, k minus 1 and I plus 1, right? I'm incrementing the index every time, and I'm decreasing the number of sets every time, right? Or not the number of sets, but the number of sum, right? From, let's say, 6 sum to 5 sum to 4 sum to 3 sum to 2 sum, right? Now we'll run a for each loop that if I have received my answer, this will only run when I have received my answer. Okay, so list.pushback value if I found an answer, and then list.pushback this list, right? And I'll return my result from here. Now this is my code, but I also need to write the toSum function. So let's write the toSum function. And what is the toSum function taking? First, the toSum function will return a vector of int, right? Now this is taking a vector of int nums, right? Or and arr, right? And it is taking a starting index and an ending index and a target. Starting index, ending index, and a target. Now we need a vector of int as my result. Int left is equals to my starting index, int right is equals to my ending index, and while left is less than my right. Now if we already know, we have already done this part, right? So if left is not equals to my starting index and arr of left is equals to arr of left minus 1, right? For that case, if the value is same, then I'm just going to increment my left and continue from there, right? And sum is equals to arr of left plus arr of right. If sum is equals to target, now I have my three conditions that sum can be equal to my target, else sum is greater than my target, or sum is less than my target, right? Now for if sum is equals to my target, then then I found an answer, so I'll make a list.push arr of left, pushback arr of left, right? List.pushback arr of right, and rest.pushback list, and then left plus plus and right minus minus, right? After this, after this is only working when we have found an answer, right? If my sum is greater, then I need to decrease my sum, and if sum is less, then I need to increase my sum, right? And after this while loop, I should contain my answer in my resultant, so just return resultant from here. Okay, this looks fine. Now let's run this code. You're getting an error. Let's see the error. Okay, we should write else if here. Okay, now let's run this. It's successful. Let's submit this code. It is also passing all the test cases. So I hope you understand this question. If you don't, I would suggest you watch the part which you don't understand. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.